Hi there. My name is Eugenie Fernandes. I'm a children's book author and illustrator, and I am home right now instead of visiting with you because of this pandemic. That's easy. It would be Lucy from Finding Lucy. Lucy is enthusiastic and curious and kind and creative and thoughtful and vulnerable and tenacious and courageous. She is definitely somebody I would want to stay home with. Maybe you would too. Maybe this book is in your library. Maybe you'll find her somewhere in a bookstore when we're out of this pandemic. I like words a lot. I have a thesaurus, which I've been using for years. It's falling apart, but I love it. I use it all the time when I'm writing because it gives you other words that have almost the same meaning. So you have lots of choices. So you wanted to say something that was delicious. Well, you could say that it's delectable or tasty or toothsome or flavorful or scrummy or yummy or scrumptious. I used it a lot in Finding Lucy. Lucy is full of words. Here's one of the pictures from Finding Lucy. It's my favorite. This is when the reporter comes and tells her that her art looks like jelly bean soup. That's what gets Lucy started wondering about herself, but eventually she finds her way back to herself, which is a good thing. We like to listen to comments, but then find our own reality in our stories or our pictures or in our lives. When I was working on the story for Finding Lucy, I learned a new word. The word is portamento. And portamento is a word that is made up of two different words, like breakfast and lunch. That would be brunch. Or fantastic and fabulous. That would be fantabulous. Or delicious and scrumptious would be delumptious. I think that apple pie is delumptious. That's something that you could do. You could take one word and blend it with another word and come up with a new word for yourself. How about if you took a monkey and a kangaroo? What do you think that would be? That would be a monkaroo. Maybe you could draw a monkaroo. I don't know what it looks like. Maybe you do. I'm working on a new story right now. Here's a painting I'm in the middle of. It's about a little girl who likes to go out and look for frogs. So that's the painting is about half done. It's a lot of fun. I really like frogs. And I've just finished illustrations for a board book written by Eric Walters. It's called Goodnight Noah, and this will be out next year in 2021, and I hope you find it. The interesting thing about this story is that Eric, when he wrote the story, he saw the pictures in his head. So then he told me what he saw, and my job was to draw and paint what he saw in his head. And it was a lot of fun. He's a wonderful person and a good writer. So maybe you'll see that book too. I hope. This is my studio. This is my desk where it all happens. What a mess. I clean up once in a while. my backyard where the birds and the squirrels and things run around. These are some of my paintings. These are my abstract paintings. Paintings from Finding Lucy. There's a painting from A Little Miss Lou. Here's my paintings of the sea. I have something on my desk here. What do you think this is? This is a horse's foot. When I was a child growing up, and my father was an artist, and so I used to hang out in his studio, and he always had this horse's foot on his desk or on his side desk. And so now I have it, and it reminds me of my dad. And the reason my dad had it was because his father was a blacksmith. And I don't know how he got a hold of this horse's foot. But anyway, it's traveled over 100 years from my grandfather to my father to me. Maybe I'll give it to Kim or Matthew, my kids. Take care. Bye.